Have you ever wondered what it might be like to live in space? An existence in a domain where the laws of Mother Earth are irrelevant, and the promise of gravity is just a remote memory. We are talking about a world where temperatures oscillate violently between the extremes of searing heat and bone-chilling cold. Your companionship is limited to a small bunch of fellow astronauts, each of you isolated by the vast expanse of nothingness, thousands of miles away from the comforts and familiarity of home. One cannot deny the fact that life in space brings with it an array of challenges that are no secret to us. We've heard countless tales about the struggles of acclimatizing to the unfamiliar conditions of zero gravity, the eerie sense of isolation, and surviving in a harsh environment that is fundamentally not designed to sustain human life. But what about the unexpected obstacles? The subtle and often ignored aspects of space living that add an entirely new level of intricacy to an already intimidating concept. Consider the implications of muscle atrophy, the gradual wasting away of muscle tissue in the absence of gravity. Ponder over the exposure to potentially dangerous levels of radiation, which can lead to numerous health complications. Reflect on the psychological effects, from the stress of a high-risk environment to the loneliness of being so far removed from human society. Then consider the logistics of daily life in a weightless environment. Even simple tasks become complex operations. Eating, showering, sleeping, every aspect of life as we know it is turned upside down. And this only scratches the surface of what awaits those brave enough to venture into the cosmos. There are also the effects of long-term isolation on mental health, the risk of bone density loss, the challenge of maintaining a normal sleep cycle, and so much more. It's not for the faint-hearted, for sure, but for those willing to take the plunge, it's an experience like no other. From the physical to the psychological, from the obvious to the obscure, there are countless challenges that space face. Today, we are going to uncover these lesser-known challenges, shedding light on the often overlooked complexities of space living. Now, let's delve into the lesser-known challenges that make life in space a truly unique experience. The first unexpected challenge of space life is space adaptation sickness. This is a form of motion sickness that arises when astronauts undergo the shift from the pull of Earth's gravity to the weightlessness of space. Astronauts are trained extensively to excel in their space missions, but this is one condition that they often struggle to prepare for. It's much akin to a fish suddenly finding itself on land. It's disoriented, lost, and confused. That's exactly how the human body feels when it experiences weightlessness for the first time. The human body is a marvel of evolution. Over millions of years, it has perfectly adapted to life on Earth. It's made for Earth's gravity, for its atmospheric pressure, for its oxygen levels. But take it out of its natural environment and things get a bit upside down. This is where the space adaptation sickness comes into play. In the zero-gravity environment of space, the inner ear, which plays a crucial role in maintaining our balance here on Earth, gets confused. The inner ear functions as our body's accelerometer, helping us understand motion, orientation, and direction. In space, without the force of gravity, these signals that would usually tell us which way is up and which way is down get scrambled. This disarray leads to a host of uncomfortable symptoms. Nausea, dizziness, and disorientation are just the beginning. Astronauts have reported headaches, fatigue, and even trouble concentrating. This is space adaptation sickness, a condition that affects about half of all space travelers during their first few days in orbit. Astronauts train rigorously in an array of different environments and simulations to minimize these effects. They spend endless hours in large centrifuges, underwater, and in virtual reality, trying to acclimate their bodies to the unusual conditions they will face. But the human body is not designed for space. It's intricate and complex, made for a world where we've spent our entire evolutionary history. It's like spending your whole life walking, then suddenly trying to swim. Sure, you've seen water, maybe even dipped your toes in it, but swimming, it's a completely different ballgame. But that doesn't mean we stop exploring, stop pushing our boundaries. It only means we need to prepare ourselves better. So, as you see, even the human body needs time to adapt to the unusual environment of space. The second challenge is muscle atrophy. This phrase may seem somewhat perplexing, but let's unpack muscle atrophy. In layman's terms, implies the gradual wasting or loss of muscle tissue. It's a phenomenon that occurs when muscles aren't used as much as they should be. Now you might be wondering, why would someone not use their muscles? The answer lies in the unique environment of space. The zero-gravity conditions that are exclusive to this vast expanse mean that humans don't engage their muscles as much as they would under gravitational conditions of Earth. This lack of use over time can lead to the dreaded muscle atrophy. Picture this analogy to comprehend it better. Your muscles are very much akin to a car battery. If you don't use a car for a significant period, the battery begins to die. It's the same with muscles. If you don't use them, you lose them. So, what's the solution to this problem? How do astronauts, those courageous souls who venture into the cosmos, combat this? The answer is simpler than you might think. They exercise. Yes, you heard it right. Even amidst the swirling galaxies, star clusters, and infinite expanse of space, exercise is something that is absolute, non-negotiable. Astronauts are mandated to exercise for approximately 2 hours every day. It's not just arbitrary exercise either. They use specially designed equipment that does a brilliant job of simulating the resistance and weight they would usually experience on Mother Earth. Regular usage of this equipment allows them to maintain their muscle mass and strength, despite being in an environment that naturally predisposes them to muscle atrophy. However, even with these measures, astronauts still experience some degree muscle atrophy. It's like a tug of war, a constant battle they must wage to remain healthy and robust in space. This battle against muscle atrophy is just one of the numerous challenges that astronauts face in their quest to the final frontier. It's a stark reminder that every occupation has its hazards, and for astronauts, muscle atrophy is a significant one. However, even amidst these challenges, astronauts persevere, and exercise remains a crucial element of their routine. Even in space, exercise is a crucial part of maintaining health. The third challenge astronauts face is radiation exposure. As we venture beyond the confines of our planet, we enter a realm where the rules of survival drastically change. This vast, infinite cosmos, the final frontier of human exploration, is brimming with radiation, significantly higher than what we encounter on our blue planet. This radiation, an omnipresent danger lurking in the seemingly serene cosmos, emanates from the sun's incredible energy and other celestial bodies scattered across the universe. In the great expanse of space, this radiation is formidable, as it's not filtered by the protective shield provided by Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field. These protective layers, like an invisible cloak, guard us from the harshness of space, filtering out most of the harmful radiation. Without this natural defense in space, astronauts are exposed to more intense radiation. But why should we be worried about this, you may ponder? The concern arises from the profound impact high radiation levels can have on the human body. It has potential to significantly harm our cells and alter our DNA, acting like an unseen enemy that launches an attack on a microscopic level. This invisible assailant can lead to an increased risk of various of cancer and other substantial health complications. The higher and longer the exposure, the more dangerous it becomes, making it a ticking time bomb for astronauts in space. To combat this formidable adversary, space agencies across the globe employ a multi-pronged approach. Initially, they invest in designing spacecraft and suits using innovative materials that can absorb or deflect some of this hazardous radiation. These materials serve as a man-made protective layer, a technological substitute for our Earth's natural defenses. Following this, careful monitoring is instrumental. They continually observe the astronauts' exposure levels, ensuring they remain within safe thresholds. This comprehensive approach allows them to anticipate potential problems and take action. It's too late. So, while radiation exposure is a formidable danger in the journey to the stars, it is not an insurmountable obstacle. With the right combination of technological innovation, careful monitoring, and a deep understanding of space's complexities, it can definitely be managed. Remember, every significant journey comes with its challenges, and overcoming them is part of the great human adventure. Radiation exposure is a real danger, but with the right precautions, it can be managed. The fourth challenge is psychological effects. Our minds, similar to our bodies, are attuned to life on this planet. Thus, when humans venture into the infinite realm of outer space, our psychological fortitude is subjected to rigorous examination. The unique psychological hurdles astronauts encounter, including the stress caused by stifling environments and isolation, are among the most significant. Visualize being confined in a space equivalent to an average house, devoid of any escape routes. The concept of casually stepping out for a gulp of fresh air or a leisurely stroll in the park is entirely non-existent. Additionally, the experience of prolonged weightlessness poses its own set of challenges. It's not merely about the joy of floating around in zero gravity, but over time it could potentially induce a sense of disorientation and a loss of self-identity, thereby triggering deep-seated psychological implications. So, what measures do astronauts employ to counter these challenges? They're subjected to comprehensive psychological training prior to their missions. This training equips them with effective techniques to manage the rigors of isolation and confinement, and also enables them to execute tasks under high-stress scenarios. Regular touchpoints with the mission control team and their loved ones back on Earth serve as a lifeline, alleviating their feelings of solitude and seclusion. Moreover, establishing and following a disciplined routine while maintaining physical and mental agility is deemed indispensable. Astronauts are strongly urged to engage in physical exercise, partake in leisure activities, and even maintain a journal documenting their experiences. All these elements collectively contribute to their cognitive well-being. At the heart of it all, it's about recognizing that mental health shares an equal footing with physical health, even in the daunting environment of space. The human mind is an astonishingly resilient entity, yet it is not completely resistant to the pressures associated with space travel. However, with the appropriate preparation and mental framework, these psychological hurdles can be tackled. Mental health is just as important as physical health, even in space. The fifth challenge is the logistics of daily life. Imagine an everyday life scenario where the simplest tasks are transformed into exhilarating exploits. This is the actuality of residing in the cosmos. Let's delve into everyday occurrences like nutrition consumption, sleep, and personal hygiene. Each task being a unique challenge when one is suspended in a zero-gravity environment. Outer space, you cannot just fill up a bowl of cereal or take a sip from your coffee mug. All food and beverages are meticulously created and packaged, often stored in vacuum-packed pouches. For mealtime, astronauts make use of water guns to add moisture back to their food, and straws are employed for drinking. Foods that are prone to crumbling, such as bread, are not included in their diets. This is any crumbs could potentially float around, posing a threat to the equipment. Resting presents its own set of hurdles. There are no plush beds awaiting astronauts in space. Rather, they sleep in confined cabins tightly strapped in to prevent unforeseen collisions during their sleep. Picture attempting to get a short nap while being strapped to a wall. On the topic of personal cleanliness, water doesn't run in space, obliging astronauts to make use of specially engineered products like waterless shampoo and digestible toothpaste. Traditional showers are replaced by sponge baths, where a towel dampened with water is used. Even the simple act of using the restroom is a meticulously planned procedure, with specially designed toilets and waste disposal systems. The life in space is not just about journeying through the stars and undertaking pioneering research. It's also about gaining proficiency in the art of living, where the easiest tasks become intricate when you're residing in a world of zero gravity. Now, let's quickly discuss the remaining 5 challenges. First up, communication delays. This is a pressing issue for astronauts on Mars, with lag times up to 24 minutes due to the vast distance. Even a 1-second delay from the International Space Station can be critical. Next, space debris. It's a real issue, with millions of bits of space junk orbiting Earth, risking collision and damage to spacecraft. Then bone loss. In zero gravity, can lose up to 1.5% of their bone mass each month. It's a challenge to manage, similar to osteoporosis on Earth. Readjusting to Earth's gravity upon return, the body has to relearn to function under gravity's pull. This can lead to dizziness, difficulty walking, and changes in vision. It can take weeks for full recovery. Lastly, the lack of fresh food. Astronauts depend on packaged meals. Fresh supplies aren't available daily, and this can create nutritional deficiencies. Space gardening techniques are a work in progress to solve this. Each of these challenges adds another layer of complexity to life in space. So as we've seen, life in space comes with a set of challenges. Indeed, astronauts face an array of difficulties the moment they leave Earth's atmosphere. Firstly, there's space adaptation sickness, affecting up to half of all space travelers, causing nausea and dizziness. Then comes muscle atrophy. Without gravity, muscles begin to deteriorate, leading to strength loss, a stark contrast to our earthbound bodies. We also have to consider the perils of radiation exposure. Beyond Earth's protective shield, astronauts are exposed to harmful cosmic rays, risking serious health issues. The psychological impacts of space life can't be ignored either. Isolation, confinement, and distance can invite stress and anxiety, a testament to the mental strength of these explorers. Daily life in zero gravity presents its own set of challenges. Eating, sleeping, and even using the bathroom become complex tasks. Other challenges include bone density loss, maintaining a balanced diet, and potential vision impairment. Each hurdle signifies the need for ongoing research and innovation. Scientists and engineers are working relentlessly to make space living safer and more sustainable. While living in space is filled with difficulties, the human spirit of exploration and discovery continues to push us beyond our earthly boundaries. So, let's keep reaching for the stars, for the cosmos is vast and our journey is just beginning. As we come to a close, we would love for you to join us on this interstellar journey. If this trip through the trials of intergalactic existence has enlightened you in any way, we kindly ask you to give our video a like. Such a simple act on your part, yet it propels our channel forward tremendously. To continue this exploration of the universe with us, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more enlightening content like this. We are eager to hear your thoughts. Do you believe you could adapt to life space? Which hurdle seems the most formidable to you? Please share your opinions in the comment section below. If you have friends or family who share your insatiable curiosity and passion for the cosmos, do not hesitate to share this video with them. Remember, the quest for space knowledge is a joint venture, and every opinion counts. So, let's keep learning, dreaming, and reaching for the cosmos together. Until our next space voyage, stay curious and never stop exploring.